How many of you guys follow Kayleigh McEnany?
I do.
You guys watch the press events?
I did. Yeah, I do.
It's almost like watching some kind of like verbal political MMA.
Yeah,
you know?
And she's a beast.
She's the best.
She's a freaking fighter, man.
So
it's such a pleasure to watch her shut them down.
Yeah. Weren't you saying they have like her folder has tabs?
Yeah.
Of like,
so they thought they were gonna get another gotcha because they took a picture of her folder.
Yeah.
She has like 60 tabs. She has like the economy. She has the family. She has the CDC.
Yeah. What are you going to bring up
everything.
this time?
Yeah. What are you going to bring up? She's got it.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it.
She'll pull out, someone will ask her something like, well, when it comes to the COVID, that she'll go, interesting. And then she like pulls some papers out and she's like, well, it says here.
Bring it on. That's what it looks like. She's just like, oh yeah, come on with it. Bring it. Bring it. I got the information.
You may like seeing the media get smacked down, but they got her.
Sure.
Oh, they got her. Kayleigh McEnany.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
They put her through the blender. Actually, they're lying and taking her out of context, and we have one of the best examples of them doing it. Now, I will admit, before we get started, poor choice of words from Kayleigh McEnany. And this is it. This is literally like watching political MMA.
Yep.
You're watching, two people are fighting. One guy, you see him make a wrong step, and the other guy goes, whoom, and goes right for that punch. He sees you're off base, you're off balance. I got you.
Yep.
That's what happened. While she's normally this, machine with all the facts, she unfortunately phrased something. Although the context was fine,
right?
The phrasing was a weapon out of context.
Oh, and they're using it.
It's nuts. We got this Twitter thread from Drew Holden.
Oh my man.
He says they're lying to you. Media outlets and personalities, plus other left-wingers, maliciously took a press secretary quote out of context to fraudulently make it sound like she didn't care about the science. She went on to explain supports the move to reopen schools. So here's what Kayleigh tweeted. Case study in media bias. I said, the science is very clear on this. The science is on our side here. We encourage our localities and states to simply follow the science, open our schools. But leave it to the media to deceptively suggest I was making the opposite point. And now, from Drew Holden, we get a wave of every single outlet lying.
Every single one of them.
This is nuts, man. So when I first saw this thing from Acosta, I was like, did she really say this?
Right.
Check it out. He says, I'm as shocked as you surely are that Acosta of CNN is leading the charge to pretend someone from the Trump administration made a point they obviously didn't. Jim Acosta tweeted, the White House press secretary on Trump's push to reopen schools. The science should not stand in the way of this. Jim Acosta had many more characters he could have used. He could have clarified what she really meant. You could have listened to Kayleigh McEnany's full speech and understood the context of what she was saying. I'm not going to bury this one. No suspense. What she should have said is, the science will prove we were correct.
Yep.
The full context of what she was saying is that when the science is released, you will see it supports us. That's what she meant. Listen to the full speech. The science should not stand in the way of this. An unfortunate way of phrasing it.
But you said it right there.
Right.
Listen to the full speech. Everybody needs to do it. Everyone needs to be doing this,
all
listening.
the time.
I watch everything she puts out. Everything she puts out, I'm now listening to it all.
This is why people don't trust the media.
I know. You're right.
This is why when
shouldn't.
When Trump was doing his daily coronavirus press briefings, his approval rating reached the highest point of his presidency in aggregate. Like not a single poll. For every single poll, it was the highest it had ever been. And so immediately the media is like, shut him down, stop letting him speak. Yep. And then all the networks shut down because, oh, what's that? Well, you can criticize him for the way he speaks and his strategies and all that stuff. When you learn the truth about what he's saying, you're like, no, he's not actually that bad.
Yep.
So this is what they do. I'm going to stress this point for you. She clearly said the science is on our side. When she opened, she was saying, I was talking to the president and he said, I want schools fully reopened. The science should not stand in the way on this. The science should not stand in the way of this. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. The science is on our side. Saying that in the future, the science won't be stopping them because it's on their side.
Right.
So simple. But they caught her. They were like, ooh, we got a direct quote.
The choice of words was poor.
Yep. Check this out. Here's, who is this person? Weijia Zhang. CBS News tweeted, the president has said unmistakable that he wants schools to open. When he says open, he means open in full. Kids being able to attend each and every day at school. The science should not stand in the way of this. From the White House podium, science should not stand in the way of reopening schools. This is everything. Look at this. Jim Roberts, stunning, jaw-dropping.
Brave.
The White House press secretary saying, just called for schools reopen, saying the science should not stand in the way of this.
Oh, the drama.
This is why I never believe anything anymore from the media, and I always have to dig in. And there have been a few times where I've actually gotten caught up, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have fallen for that one. I should have known better.
Yep.
Now I'm over it. Now they could be like, Donald Trump today announced that he was going to launch a nuclear missile into the sun. I'd be like, yeah, no, he didn't. I don't believe you.
Right.
They'd be like, Donald Trump announced that he went and bought a Big Mac. I'd be like, no, he didn't. You're lying. Donald Trump came out and said hello. No, he didn't. That's not true. He called you fake news. I don't believe it. They could say Donald Trump smiled and waved. Not buying it. He was probably scratching his nose.
Yeah.
For real. Everything's out of context. This is insane. Look at this. The Washington Post, White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, the science should not stand in the way. How absolutely insane has media become?
Little do they know, the science actually proves that schools should be reopened.
Look at this one. Look at this one. This dude from NBC, quote, the science should not stand in the way of this, press secretary says. Then he tweets, McEnany later added the science, in her words, is on their side. It's perfectly safe to open.
Oh, that's a nice
The
little
Guardian. Bill
way
Nye.
to try to sneak it in there.
Look at this. Bill Nye, he goes way into it. White House says science should not stand in the way of reopening schools. I guess it's good to have it spelled out. The administration is generally not in favor of science.
What?
Might surprise a few of us. My, oh my, science out of the way.
Bill Nye. Come on, Bill.
No, he's not a scientist. He's not a scientist.
No, he's not.
He gets dragged
He's
all
an
the time.
engineer.
Exactly. He doesn't have any. He doesn't even actually have any like hard science degrees, I guess. He was a comedian. There's not even a point in just going through all of this. Look at this. Popat, DNC War Room, Ted Lieu. He's a politician.
Oh.
All of these lies, man. Look, wow, this is a huge thread.
That's Drew for you.
The Lincoln Project. That's
gosh.
funny.
Isn't he a Russian?
And of
Russian
course,
agent?
Jay Rubin, another star for the Lincoln Project. Oh man, the Krasensteins, Mrs. Krasenstein. Look at this.
Any chance they get.
Look how huge this thread is.
Orange
Rolling
Man
Stone.
bad. Orange Man bad. We got him, everybody. Woo!
But hold on. Look at all of these mainstream news outlets saying all of this stuff.
Right.
Now try and have a conversation with one of your friends who isn't in politics, doesn't watch a show like this. Smash the like button and share this video, by the way.
You know what I'm doing mentally while you're saying all that,
Smashing
right?
the like button?
Oh no, I'm mentally prepping for those people that you just mentioned.
Yep.
Because I know they're going to bring this up. Oh yeah, Adam. Well, check this out.
And they're going to go,
Boom.
and here's what they're going to do. They're going to go CBS, The Washington Post, The New York Times, The Wall Street Journal, Ted Lieu, Adam Schiff. Prove me wrong. I have 12 sources all proving this.
And then I'll actually, this is what I'll do. I'll drop the entire speech of what she said, and I'll be like, show me where where she's saying the science doesn't prove them correct, because that's not what she's saying. The science is very.
Do you know what they're going to say?
I don't have the
You're
time.
dog-faced pony shoulder.
Yeah.
They're going to say.
Yeah,
they're going to
basically.
say, I just showed you 12 sources. You sending me a YouTube video proves nothing.
That's exactly what I have been told when
Yep.
they give me that kind of stuff. And I go, all of these things that you're giving me is allegedly this happened. Allegedly this happened. And I'm like, that's not showing me that something happened. I know I listened to her speech. That is not what she said. That is not what she meant. She's saying the science is on her side, so it shouldn't stand in the way of reopening schools, period. Done.
Exactly. The full, when you listen to the full statement, you're like, oh, but see what the journalists do, because I really do believe that one of the big things that divides the left and the right today is the ability to understand nuance, context, sarcasm, irony. It really does. This is why the NPC meme is so apt.
Yep, you're right.
Because if she said, they listen to what, I'm going to give you the best example. When Donald Trump said Hillary Clinton acid washed her server.
Right.
All the
exactly.
all the NPC people went, she put acid on her server? But that would break it.
Let me check Snopes real quick.
So then NBC
Snopes said.
NBC issued this. NBC said, fact check, Hillary Clinton did not use a corrosive chemical on her computers.
Oh man.
Yes.
It was not speaking literally.
Yes, of course.
But think about jokes. How they're like, you can't say that. It's a joke. I didn't mean it. I think Ricky Gervais has a bit like this where he's talking about how he was joking about how he hated pretzels on airplanes and he wants peanuts, but you can't have peanuts because one person might get sick. He's like, I don't literally want everyone to die from inhaling peanut dust or something like that. It's like, I know, it's a joke. He was making a joke It was meant to be exaggerated. Of course, we know Ricky Gervais doesn't want people to die from peanut allergies.
Right.
That's why it's silly. It's meant to be humorous by being extreme. They can't understand these things. So Kayleigh McEnany says something, they take it 100% literally.
Yep.
And now you have all these sources proving she said it.
Yep.
And now I can just see it, man. They're all going to be running around like gobbling turkeys.
Echo chamber.
Yep.
The echo chamber is running rampant right now. That's
You-
what we
you-
just
you-
saw.
you
That
wanna-
was a thread of the echo chamber.
This is my job. This is what I do. I wake up, I see the news, and it says Donald Trump today announced that he was going to be executing, dogs and puppies. And then I'll be like, whoa, that's crazy. I better watch that video of him giving the speech. And then what they'll do is it'll be like this. It'll be Donald Trump, quote, "It's time to start executing puppies and baby kittens." And then I'll be like, whoa, and everyone's like, this is insane. I can't believe this. And then you watch it, and it'll be Trump going, "Can you believe this? These crazy people who would say something like it's time to start executing puppies and baby kittens? What a
Right.
horrible thing to say."
Yeah, exactly.
They attribute
Nice.
the words to him.
Yeah.
They do things like that.
I know. I see it.
Like
You're right.
even this right here, she's actually. It appears she's quoting Trump.
Right.
She was like, "I talked to the president. He said this, this, and this. The science should not stand in the way of this. Blah 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 blah. We want schools reopened. The science has already proven that we're correct." And then I think she makes a specific reference too.
Right.
But then they don't care.
I'm wondering.
They attribute it to her.
They don't care.
Yeah, you're wondering.
I wonder how much of it was tone. I wonder if maybe he was saying something like, the science shouldn't stand in the way. I mean, it should come up with the numbers that we're expecting.
That's
And
exactly
she's
it.
just relaying it kind of flatly. I mean, because she's
But not
quoting
even.
what
But
he
not
said.
even that. When you have to wait for someone to finish, and then if you're confused, you ask a question.
Yeah, that's what journalists are supposed
Miss
to
Miss
do.
McEnany, you said the science should not stand in the way. You're not suggesting that you would ignore science that's not in favor. Could you clarify that statement?
No, Tim. Come on. They don't care about that.
They don't do real
They
journalism.
got her.
That's right. No
They
one
got her,
clarified.
Period.
Got her.
That's
Don't
it.
clarify
That's
it.
all that mattered. They got her. Boom. Thank you. You can leave now, press
You know-
secretary.
you
We
know-
got what we came for.
You know what happened when she walked off the podium?
What?
There's like silence of all the journalists sitting there for about 5 seconds, and then they slowly look at each other. And they all jump up. They're like high-fiving.
High-fiving each
Someone's
other.
popping a beer, and they're like, "We got her!"
Yes. Finally, we got to win, guys. She's been kicking our butts for
Well,
so long.
It looks like
So true.
They've been working.
It looks like we got them.
Whoa, that's a lot of jobs. All right, go ahead.
So,
Jeez.
so
Yeah.
first, I don't know what this source is. Normally, I use everything that's certified by NewsGuard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you're not using a certified source, Tim?
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm clutching my pearls.
But there's one
Hi.
reason. There's one reason. This was actually shared by a blue check journalist saying we've got serious
so
problems.
that's your source.
Yeah. But I didn't pull them up, so I probably should have.
Okay.
But they also, it's basically whatever. We know that Vox and The Guardian have laid people off. We know that news has generally been taking a hit. This is like I don't know what the source is. World News Daily or something worldwide. I don't know. But they say newsroom layoffs at record high. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas found that there have been 11,027 job cuts announced this year compared to 4,087 in the first half of 2019. The first half of 2019 was considered to be like the apocalypse.
Really?
Like 2019 itself was just like, oh, they were calling it a bloodbath.
Little do they know
It's getting worse.
what 2020 would bring.
Yeah. So Vox is laying people off. You know why that's funny? Because this is the outlet where Matthew Iglesias, the co-founder, was just canceled.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And now he's tweeting very cryptic, help, I'm trapped, send help tweets. He's tweeting things like, "I'd like to talk about this, but I can't." And you're like, that's weird. And he randomly tweeted, "I have an opinion to share, but I won't." It's like,
Okay.
Thanks.
what? That's
I better follow him for all that
yeah, exactly.
breaking news.
He's basically got duct tape on his mouth. He's going, It's like, well, dude, the duct, you made the tape.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
your
dude.
company. Meanwhile, the other founder is like ragging on him.
Yeah, he's the co-founder, right?
Yeah, Matthew's a co-founder,
Oh,
and Ezra
wow.
Klein like threw some shade, some subtweet shade at him, like, when people talk about free speech, they're actually talking about their power. And then he's like, "I would comment on this, but I've made a commitment, so I won't." It's like, so the context is basically that Matthew Iglesias signed this Harper's letter condemning cancel culture, and so then his other co-founders are like basically ragging on him, and he can't say anything because he has been canceled for signing the letter. You know what, man? I have no sympathy for people who want to dance in the highway and get hit by a car. I mean, I have a little bit, to be honest. Because I don't. It's like,
You don't want anyone getting hurt.
I don't want Matthew Iglesias, co-founder of Vox, to be silenced. I don't want anyone to be silenced.
Yeah, I don't want anyone getting hit by a car.
However, what am I supposed to do? It's like you dancing in the highway, you get hit by a car. What are we going to do? Are we going to create a society where we put like rubber padding everywhere? Cars can only go 10 miles an hour. Everybody's got to wear, you know what? Everyone goes in a bubble. You ever see those bubbles people have?
Yeah.
Where they run around in them and then bounce into each other?
Hamster balls?
Well, it's like.
I mean, human hamster balls?
Yeah,
whatever.
they're big
Same
inflatable bubbles.
Uh-huh.
And your feet are out of them.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
and
Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then everyone runs and jumps into each other.
Yeah.
Like that's our expectation for society.
Goodness.
Then we can finally feel safe, right?
No, I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to feel the feeling of the skateboard cracking into my shin, though.
Yeah.
I need
Nope.
that. I need that pain.
Skateboards will be made of some kind of soft foam.
Oh no.
With a very thin plastic. You will not be allowed to. You have to strap your feet in on both of the trucks.
Oh great.
So no tricks, and you can't push. Someone can push you one time.
That's it.
We're all gonna wear gray jumpsuits. Everyone's heads will be shaven.
Equilibrium.
Totally. Everyone must wear the same thing. In order to eliminate all biases and all prejudice and make everyone finally the same and to be truly safe. Peaceful. Everybody's got a, I used to think it would be a gray jumpsuit. Mm-hmm. Now I don't think that would work because you can still see someone's figure. Like,
oh, good point.
You're too tall.
Whoa. You're too thin.
Right.
You're too wide.
Well, no.
You're too short.
Too thin won't be an issue because everyone will be starving. There's not going to be any food in the new communist utopia.
So what? Everyone's going to be thin?
Everyone's going to be starving.
I hope not.
Well, that's communism.
I hope it doesn't happen.
But that's communism.
You're right.
So when we have the communist utopia, they won't have to worry about people being too tall because they'll all be starving, so they'll stop growing at a certain point. So everyone can just wear. It's going to rest on your head, and it's going to be a big white cylinder. So that no one,
like a lampshade.
Right, exactly, but covering all the way to the floor, and it'll just be cylinders moving around, but you can't talk. You have to type, and then the robot talks for you. Hello. Good day.
Welcome to the Timcast IRL.
I would use my real voice, but then you would know I am male.
You must smash the like button. Boop. Now. Boop. Smash.
Gently.
Think about what they're trying to implement with all of this like critical race theory and gender theory and all this stuff.
Yeah.
How do you stop any of it?
I don't know. Keep talking about it logically.
If racism,
that's what I'm doing as much as I can.
No. I mean, how do they win?
Oh.
How do they stop white supremacy?
I don't know. It feels like they're trying to convince everybody that everyone's white supremacists.
Well, so the way I look at it is the only way you can actually have their version of equality with no privilege would be like I described it.
Yep.
Everybody is, starving and small. They wear giant lampshade things on their heads that go all the way down so you can't see. It's like it floats like 2 feet from your body and you move around and shuffling and
or like cousin it wigs.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you don't know what it is.
Just hair.
And everyone's required to talk in a very high pitch.
Or like Sia, you never see her face.
Oh yeah. But that's the only way to solve it, right?
I guess so.
I was thinking this before when I used to work when I worked at O'Hare Airport, because of all the security restrictions that made no sense. I was like, maybe the future will be if you want to fly, you got to wear a jumpsuit. You can't bring anything with you. Because they're slowly just banning, like nail clippers are banned, then shampoo is banned. This, and the stupidest thing was the security protocols made zero sense, because if you worked for the company, you would just drive in. You would drive up, you'd pull up to a checkpoint, they'd wave, you'd show them your ID, they'd wave you in. They wouldn't search you. You could bring whatever you wanted. And then you were in the airport with whatever you wanted.
Jeez.
Yeah. Not only that.
Well, this was a while ago, right?
It's the same way.
Oh, really?
So, well, I don't know about the employee parking lot, but I can tell you that they would always tell us, if you're coming to work, you can use your key card to enter what's called the bag room. It's like when you go to the baggage carousels, there's a door, and you can just swipe, and the door opens, and now you are in the secured area.
Okay.
So they would be like, well, you're not supposed to go in that way. We want you to go through security, because even if you're an employee, you go through security.
But I'm sensing a but coming.
The but is,
I thought so.
You have to have the door there so that the employees can fix problems. So people would show up, walk right up, and not go through security and just swipe and walk on in.
Yeah.
Or people, like literally everybody who drove in, you pull up to a checkpoint, they'd be like, how's it going? Hi. You swipe your card, have a nice day.
Morning, Jerry.
And you bring your car in. And I was just like, how stupid is it that they're going to ban all of these things, I could literally fill my trunk up with nail clippers. And they'd open it and be like, you got a lot of nail clippers there, Tim. And I'd be like, that's right. And be like, have a nice day, buddy.
I like my nails cut perfectly.
No, I'd be
On
like,
the hour,
listen.
every hour.
I'm telling you, my new business, a subscription nail clipper service. I'm telling you, I'm going to be rich. They'd be like, yeah, great. Go for
All
it.
right,
Bye-bye.
Tim, that's weird.
Underground airport nail clippers. That's,
Now that
I
they've-
open my trench coat. I'm like, you need some nail clippers? I got the nail clippers.
I see those nails are a little long. They make you throw those clippers away? Right here.
I got you.
They wouldn't care.
You need toenail clippers? Oh, I got fingernail clippers, toenail clippers,
Cuticle cutters?
cuticle cutters.
Yeah. You got a cat? I got a cat nail clipper, too.
Oh.
No, the point is, though, I used to think about that, and then now that we're in this era of social justice, everything's offensive, everyone's privileged.
Right.
How do you remove privilege? You know what colorism is?
Sounds familiar, but
It's a
what is
social
it?
justice term, meaning that lighter-skinned people have more privilege than darker-skinned people, I guess. Is that how you do? Is that?
Yeah, I would say so. And I actually have something to say about this because I know someone's going to mention maybe in Super Chats a book called Harrison Bergeron, which is like a dystopian story where everyone is equal. And that means people with a sense of pitch have like these things installed in their ears where you can't hear anything and you can't sing and you're all the same height. You have like your shins broken so you can do all this stuff. And it's horrible dystopia. It's awful.
Have
But
you read it?
I haven't read it. I think I listened to it, but
I like to imagine what the world would be like
That's the same.
in their happy utopia. They'll feel
An
great.
audiobook? That's based. You read the book.
yeah, I mean,
You listened to the
yeah,
audiobook?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.